I'd have it like, like down lower, because I wouldn't be experiencing how good the high is and how much I'm loving it. I'm needing to spend this time with it to get to know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I like that.
1, 2.
Rolling.
Okay, and we are officially on air.
Perfect. All right. Bo?
Jeffrey,
Welcome.
everyone.
Welcome, everybody, to the 8th Estate. We've got Bo sitting across from me. I'm Jeff, and James on the 1s and 2s,
Huzzah.
wherever he may be.
The 1s and 2s, minding his P's and Q's.
Yeah, crossing those T's, dotting those I's on
Dotting
lowercase
the
J's.
Q's, yeah.
And today we're doing Aurora Cannabis's lovely MK Ultra strain.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It's going to be a fun episode, man.
James, run that tape.
MK Ultra. Just take a joke from it today. MK Ultra. Smoke some of that airplay J. MK Ultra Play J.
This is the first time that we've pre-shot the weed going on the scale. Both of them came in at like 3.4.
3.4 is what I saw in the second
3.4,
one.
3.42. And so that should be showing you right now what the weed looks like. Are we back to...
We're back to you guys on the wide.
I like the look of the weed. It smells really nice. The look of it, it's not quite as impressive looking, I would say, as the O-Gen from last week.
Which I'm sure is O-Gen because they've got a longer name with genetics in it.
There it is,
So,
genetics. I
yeah,
knew
so
it. I knew it.
Totally incorrect about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still looks incredible. And MK Ultra is going to be unreal.
Mm-hmm.
But just out of the gate, just visually, not quite as striking as what we were doing last week.
But I mean, it grinds up so nicely. The consistency of it's really good. It's got very, very little like stem pack in the center.
Yeah.
The little stem piece comes out really well. And yeah, it's great smelling, great rolling. Yeah. James, you want to tell us a little bit about the MK Ultra by Aurora?
Let's hear about it. America in 1953.
Take us on a time trip back to 53.
Closed doors, the CIA launches a mind control program known as MK Ultra. All across the country, hidden in hospitals, universities, and prisons, they began to experiment on often unwitting subjects, testing their reactions to psychoactive drugs, hypnosis, and electroshock therapy.
Psychoactive and psychedelic drugs, too, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Anyways.
Now, 50 years later, the now infamous indica takes on the High Times Cannabis Cup. I think they won it in 2003. Named for the CIA program, MK Ultra is a heavyweight sleepy strain that is widely regarded as one of the strongest indica-dominant hybrids on the market. It's well deserving of its title, by the way, as a powerfully cerebral psychoactive smoke. Aurora's MK Ultra doesn't control your mind so much as leave it spinning. Ooh, we shall see.
We'll see, man. We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, no doubt. This strain is a cross between OG Kush and Indica G13, two legends in the cannabis world. According to the cannabis myth, in the 1960s, the CIA and FBI collected the best marijuana strains from around the world and bred them to create new super strains. Wow, this is fascinating. One of these was supposedly G13, also known as Government 13. While the story is most likely not true, even if we want it to
We
be.
can pretend for today.
Well, of course the government's going to say that
Yeah,
shit
dude,
about them
definitely
and
gonna say
drugs
it's not
isn't
true, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just like they said that MK Ultra has been over since the 70s.
Yeah.
Most of this is probably redacted. G13's potency is definitely real. Its legacy lives on in MK Ultra, landing MK Ultra's first place for best indica at the High Times Cannabis Cup in 2003. There it is.
Hey, you called
and then
it.
second place in 2004 for the same category. I can keep
Somebody's
going,
done
but
their
yeah.
research.
That sounds pretty good to me, though. I like that.
And this particular stuff is coming in at 19.6%.
THC.
Yes.
Nice. Any CBD?
THC. No.
They say it's a sleepy strain. I don't know.
They say that. But I've smoked a fair bit of this, and it's not
I've never gotten that
sleepy
from-
for me. It's one of my favorites for drumming. Like this weed, you know, has really put me into some great places.
Yeah.
As far as drumming, you know, it's a real emotional weed for me. In a good way.
So you've smoked this before?
Yes, it's one of my favorite strains.
It's quite popular, too. Yeah. It's a great strain.
So the parents of this are the OG Kush and the G13. OG Kush, I think we talked about a little bit last time. It was a parent strain of the Ogen.
The gas berries.
Gas berries, yep. But also a potent father or mother strain with this MK Ultra.
I've heard that OG, I mean, it's very common for, you know, I'm going to get the fucking terminology wrong. I'm going to get blasted on the internet by people that know better than me, but it's very common to splice with other, like, genes or whatever, because it's a very stable product, I guess, and it grows well with other... That's as much as science as I'm going to get into
No,
for
that
the
sounds,
podcast.
that sounds super legit,
That's-
and I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
really
why
cool.
you see a lot of things mixed with it, though, or, you know, bred with it is, because it's a very stable
That's interesting.
gene structure, I guess.
I always thought it was a name thing. Like OG Kush is just one of those things that even if you don't know about weed, chances are you've heard of OG Kush.
And you probably have because it's so popular because of that same reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's around everywhere.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
I like this. I'm noticing like I'm getting lots more thick smoke out of this than I have for the last couple joints or the last couple of sessions.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. It's a little dark around the edges. And I'm gonna have to see how the burn on this goes.
I was gonna say actually, yeah. So it's smoking well, but it's not necessarily burning that well. It's burning a little uneven on mine. I also have a tendency to
Chaff on it.
just yeah,
Chuff
you know,
on it.
just suck harder on one half than the other, I guess.
I can tell already the haze in the room is much darker than it usually is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it
interesting.
feels. I was thinking the same thing though. It feels like smokier in here already. Like,
Yeah, and this is like I held off all day for smoking before this.
yeah, me too. Not intentionally. I was just dry.
It's
So,
okay. Well, it's hitting my lungs. Like it's definitely affecting my voice.
my lungs are fine, but I'm already like I'm feeling.
It's gonna make me start talking like Kermit or
feeling fine,
something.
yeah.
So OG Kush was first cultivated in Florida in the early 90s when a strain from Northern California was crossed with a Hindu Kush plant from Amsterdam. The result was a hybrid with a unique terpene profile that boasts a complex aroma with notes of fuel, skunk, and spice. The genetic backbone of West Coast cannabis varieties, OG Kush arrived in LA in 1996 when Matt Bubba Berger, there he is again, we talked about him last week.
Yeah, we did.
You know,
Shout out Matt Bubba.
Yeah, big up, Bubba.
big up Bubba. He came from Florida to legendary cultivator Josh D.
We talked about him last time too. Well, because we were talking about the strain last time. Doy. Ugh.
Yeah, the MK Ultra. Hey, welcome to the party.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
True story. So OG Kush it's become a worldwide staple used to create numerous famous strains like GSC and Headband. There are many different phenotypes of OG Kush, including Tahoe OGF.
Do you remember from the last time what SFGOG
I think we read this exact same
was?
thing.
We did. We
Yeah,
did go through this.
It stands for CSI SFVOG. San Francisco Valley Original.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is great for next time. Next time we have a strain that also crosses with OG Kush, we can just be like, we talked enough about OG Kush on the podcast now. You guys know about it.
Yeah, if you want to find out about OG Kush, you just got to go back and watch the previous episodes.
Yeah, don't Google it. Watch the past few episodes. You'll figure it out.
Definitely.
Let's talk about G13, though, because this is a new one. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not new. It's always been around for a while.
Government 13.
I've known about G13. I'm not sure if I've ever smoked G13, though. Actually, I think I have.
Well, we have G13. It's a potent indica marijuana strain and is the subject of many urban legends. Ooh, I wonder what kind of urban legends. According to some accounts, the CIA, FBI, and other agencies gathered the best strains of marijuana from breeders all over the world at a super secret installation at the University of Mississippi. They bred many new super hybrids in the late 1960s, allegedly. A single cutting of this plant was liberated by an unnamed technician. I love this urban legend already. And bred for the masses. Although the legends are probably not true, G13 delivers effects like no other. If you have the opportunity, definitely partake in this strain.
Future episode.
It's pretty hilarious that it's an unknown or unnamed person who stole the parent. When we're talking about MK Ultra, it could have been a Manchurian candidate.
Absolutely, man.
Could have been somebody programmed to do that shit, and then afterwards they didn't even know they did it. So you just kill a couple other people who gave the order, and all of a sudden, all records of it are just gone.
Exactly. And deeper down the rabbit hole we go.
Yes. Man,
this is strong weed, man.
it's really strong.
It's
weed.
fucking powerful weed.
It's not. It's really surprising. Like the power of it and the smoke of it is not matching up with the appearance of it while it's burning, and the appearance of it in bud form didn't match up with how it ground up.
Yeah,
it's like it's.
Exactly. I feel like this is burning
forms.
like shit, but I'm also higher than I've been off of one joint in the history of this podcast yet.
Well, it's not.
I'm gonna get this is gonna knock me on my ass. I can feel it already. I can't wait by the end of this. It's gonna be so fun.
I'm gonna give this a little listen here, and see how it's burning.
Put it up to the mic.
It's actually not too bad.
Do
not
it
too
up
bad.
to the mic. I thought I could hear that. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was James. Yeah. Knock that cherry out. Fuck.
It's got a clean steam profile, but it's just dark. It's just really dark ash.
I'm gonna sit and digest that one for a second here before I let number two.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it's good. Fuck, it's good.
So what makes it good?
You know what? That's an interesting question too, because I've kind of been thinking that the last couple episodes, like getting higher. I'm like, well, how do I distinguish like one high from the other, right?
It is very subjective.
And it's exactly very subjective, especially like when we're getting 4 or 5 joints deep here. It's like,
yes,
you know, are we even getting higher? And like we are getting higher, but like, are we noticing a difference at that point? Probably not. We're probably noticing the most impact after a joint, and then after that is just fucking excessive and fun.
Well, maybe. I mean, hitting that point of being like, oh, I'm good now. Like, I don't need to keep on smoking. Seeing where that comes in,
Yeah.
I think is good data.
I'll be honest though, like I have a problem sometimes where I'll just keep smoking. Like by the end of this podcast, as high as we are, like if we just rolled more, I would still sit here for another podcast length and sit and smoke weed with you.
Well, and that's the thing that, you know, like I'm trying to come at this for everybody as legit as possible, where like there's lots of rating systems, there's lots of competitions and all that kind of stuff. And really those guys and girls are just those people are just smoking weed all fucking day. you know, and
Yeah.
after the third strain of weed, like, is it really like, can you tell from the high? No, I think you can only tell the appearance of the bud, how it rolls up, how it burns, everything but the
high of it,
because
yeah.
you
You
are
can't
just,
rate the high. It's
you
so
are
subjective,
just,
man. Yeah.
well, you're high from all the other
And
kind of stuff.
exactly,
I
that
mean,
scenario.
we could sit here and we could break down all the different strains together.
Yeah, but by
you
the time
know,
you're
and have
smoking
a
the
joint
last
of
one,
this
what's the
and a joint
fucking
of this.
point? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to do this. Like, I haven't even done this in my personal life.
Yeah.
Where I've sat down and only exposed myself to a particular strain like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big into mixing to the point where for a really long time, I wouldn't even smoke a joint that was just one strain. I would mix strains together. I'd throw some indica in with some, you know, sativa CBD weed and get the concoctions going that way, like kind of roll like a cocktail joint, which is really fun. And we should do that
We definitely
later.
have to do
We
that.
should just have a cocktail party. That's what it should be.
Yes.
A fucking cocktail
parties.
Yeah, and we can have weed drinks. We can have all different strains.
We do drink drinks,
We
too?
can. Oh, pardon?
We do like just drinks too.
We can drink drinks.
Bring cocktail shaker. We'll make some
drinks
real
are for
We'll
drinking.
make some fancy cocktails. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
all of it, and just have a cocktail party.
I love
that's
it.
what it was. We were thinking about that before, James, but I think that's the plan. A cocktail party.
I like it.
Yeah.
Martinis.
Garden
Should we-
party.
Should we have cocktail parties for holidays?
Why not?
Well, why else do you do a cocktail party? That seems like
Yeah,
the best time
holiday
to-
cocktail party.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe that can be when we have guests.
I
If
Absolutely,
there's
yeah.
a potential for guests down the road.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely see potential for guests, man. Yeah, some people.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, like I really want to get James in to do the whiskey pairings. Like,
Not our James, a different James.
James Burton. Yeah, my current drum
Okay.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
along McQuaid. Shouts out to James Burton.
Let's absolutely do that. Yeah. Do some whiskey pairings.
Mm-hmm.
We could celebrate Tooth Fairy Day,
Easter Monday.
Easter Monday.
Ooh,
Pair the Tooth Fairy with the Easter Bunny, and you pair whiskey with
Yes.
something. Think about it.
I was thinking for the whiskey pairing too, it'd be cool to like get a strain and have like, if we could have like a chef friend cook up a couple like dishes or a couple samples, tasters of food cooked with that strain, that we could pair that with whiskey.
that would be. I've been thinking about the pairings as a segment, like even doing it. Like I was thinking after last week, I was thinking
Sorry, I'm
more
calling my
about.
chair here.
That's fine. I was thinking more about like potential segments and kind of like developing the podcast. And one of the things that I put down was potential pairings when we're down near the end of the eighth or the quarter, I guess, between the two of us. We could really start talking about like, oh, what would go well with this? Like now we're really in with the smoke, right?
Yeah.
What would go well with this? What kind of, a dark roast, a light roast for coffee, coffee black or coffee with some creamer in it, or, maybe a little Bailey's, some spiced rum, that kind of thing. And what kind of foods, does this make you hungry for?
Oh yeah.
Coffee and
I
weed.
don't get hungry for like specific things like that though. Not often. I just get hungry and I'm just like.
Are you
can't
hungry
move.
for apples?
Why?
Okay,
You
bad
didn't ask me how I
reference.
like these apples.
No, that was a terrible attempt at a Rick and Morty reference.
Oh damn.
Love that show.
Hungry?
Yeah, I love that
for
show too.
Apples.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
Oh, okay. It's
Sorry.
the glitching where they're in a Rick and Morty are in a well, this is definitely
This is
affecting
good
me.
weed, man.
They're in a replicated environment, whatever that's called.
Oh, with the
a
grasshopper,
simulation.
the
A
grasshopper,
simulation.
the grasshopper alien looking guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, I remember.
Yeah, and they're
that.
trying to figure out the recipe for dark matter.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, they're trying to steal.
I gotta revisit some of that show.
Oh,
I've
fuck,
watched it
I
all
haven't-
now, but I gotta sit back and watch some of the early stuff. I actually have the first 2 seasons, I think, on DVD. Yeah, Blu-ray
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
that's fucking killer.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's one of the best shows ever made, man.
It's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I guess you love it or you hate it. I know a lot of people that don't like it. I think it's just fucking brilliant.
Rick
It's
and
so
Morty.
fun.
Rick and Morty are like jazz.
Remember when-
if you don't like it, it's because you just don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you get it, you're superior to everyone else.
I winked on the side away so nobody could even see the yes.
Remember when James asked me a question? He asked, "What was the question even exactly?" It was about how to. I said it was good weed. He said, "Yeah, I said we were saying it was good weed," and he asked, "What makes it good
What
weed?"
makes it good weed? Yes.
Did we answer that? I don't think we did. I think we got away from it.
So let me know, guys. I'm still curious.
Yeah, So
The long-term high for me is definitely something. I'm not a big fan of weed that just knocks me out.
yeah,
Like it's got a time and a place, and there's a lot of people who, if they don't get knocked out by their weed, they don't think it's good weed.
yeah. Knocked out isn't like going to bed like just
Yeah,
zonked.
just like
Yeah.
like literally knocked out.
Yeah,
passed
there's a
out.
time and a place for that. I like that. You know, that's the kind of thing I'll do. Like when I leave here and I go home and like just throw on a movie before bed, I'll get like just smoke like a heavy indica and just melt into a fucking couch, right, and get zonked. But it's not what I'm going for usually. And you were saying like how long it lasts sometimes too. Like, yeah, I don't want to like a fast acting, quick to dissipate like high. I want that thing to like I want to be able to ride it out for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be powerful. It's got to pack a serious punch so that like so when you're high, you can sit and enjoy that high for a little bit. And it's hard to do sometimes when you smoke a lot of weed to like get to that level.
Yeah, I think one of the things for me with weed, for me, is I spend so much time playing drums, and also playing drums after smoking weed, and so I like that. I like that energy that goes with it, and that
Yeah.
kind of cerebral, more the sativa hybrid kind of.
Mark that, James. That's one thing that we both like about. That's one thing we consider like to be a good weed. Is like a very cerebral high.
Nice.
You know, I like to get like space. I like to get spaced out. You know. That's,
However, some people just cannot handle that,
and that's where
you know?
CBD heavy weed comes in, right? They like more the body side of it, not so much the cerebral headiness of the THC, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Or going to edibles even.
Yeah.
You know, although edibles sometimes can make the mind a crazy place
I've
too.
never had much luck with edibles, man. I was saying that a couple of podcasts ago. My buddy gave me some like tinctures and some oils, and I've been cooking with them and I've been using them. But like, they're good. They're very mellow if they're anything though. Like, I don't really get much out of edibles. I think it's because my metabolism is so
Well, you
goddamn high.
it's one of those things. I'm pretty sure marijuana when you eat it is fat soluble. And if you don't have a lot of fat in your body and you're not taking in a lot of fat, which is like essentially it takes a lot more.
Yeah.
The times that I've been hit the hardest by edibles or by taking, a little bit of distillate on my fingertip or something like that is when I've paired it with something that's like a ketogenic protein shake or something with powdered MCT in it or a butter coffee or, some kind of food that's higher in fats, saturated fats. And then it'll hit. Like, man, I've gone to space before on just a little bit of distillate,
Yeah.
and like a keto protein
Distillate.
shake.
That's just like to put in vapes, like distillate. Like.
Yep. But you can eat it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the things that's already, I guess, it's already changed into THCA. Is that the
You're asking the wrong.
like there's a process that has to happen. There's a process that has to happen with THC in order for it to be able to get you high through eating it.
Okay.
And that's where people decarboxylate it when they're going to make edibles. You kind of like
None of this is
pre-bake it.
going over my head, by the way. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Decarboxylate. So you got to take away a carbon atom, I believe, and that's by heating it. I know it's, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just keep going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's more like good for getting you high in the body, like. So
Okay.
with making edibles, have you ever made edibles? Have you ever like made weed butter or
Yeah, I have,
anything
yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that you probably cooked it for a really long time.
This was a long time ago. I don't really remember.
Was it a
but
long process? Do you know?
I feel like it was a longer process. Yeah. I couldn't. I was like fucking 18, man. It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
10,
okay,
11, almost
okay.
12 years ago. Yeah.
Most people, like, when you just put the weed in with the butter and then you cook it, you gotta simmer it right at the right temperature
my
for a real
process,
long
yeah.
time. Yeah, so there's infusion going on there, but also the decarboxylating is going on while that's happening, and that's where the bubbles come. That's where the
THCA and THC, what's the difference? We got something pulled up here. Thanks, James.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks. How long are you trying to get my attention for? I'm so sorry. You could.
Oh, just now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw you waving your arms. I was like, oh my God.
Do you want to read this?
How long have you been doing that?
So, yeah, just give us a little run through it.
Yeah.
Well, contrary to what some slapstick comedies would have you believe, eating raw weed is not going to get you high. I
Yeah.
literally thought that.
A lot of people did it growing up.
Yeah.
What was the movie? Super Troopers.
Yes.
Bomb movie. I love that movie.
So good.
Was
But
that,
yeah, where he eats all the weed. I guess he's eating
was
mushrooms.
that weed or mushrooms?
He ate both.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
However, it doesn't do that to us, but I swear, man, it gets animals high. If animals eat like marijuana just straight off the plant, they get fucked up.
That's
Yeah?
weird, but I guess because like a lot of animals, like they're like if you think of deer or whatever, like they eat grass, they eat vegetables, they eat plants.
Yeah,
Different
they've got
digestive
a
systems.
they've got a multi-stomach thing going on, a lot of them too, and like cows. But dogs just have one stomach, I think, and dogs get fucked up from just eating weed.
Yeah. They also get fucked up from eating grass. Makes them puke.
Yeah, totally. You guys might find this fascinating.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs puke if they eat grass, everybody. That's a fact. Just so
why,
you know.
why does THC get us elevated and THCA doesn't? The reason is due to the shape of the THCA molecule. It is a larger molecule that doesn't fit into the certain cannabinoid receptors, specifically the CB1 receptors. You can find CB1 receptors primarily in the brain, central nervous system, lungs, liver, and kidneys. In order to have an intoxicating effect, a cannabinoid must fit into a CB1 receptor. Yeah, there's fascinating stuff on here. I mean, you guys can read it or whatever.
Okay,
or
how
just talk about it.
how does THCA become THC? Process of decarboxylation. Yes. Heat removes a carboxylic acid group from THCA, altering the THC chemical structure. This makes it the perfect shape to fit into our endocannabinoid system.
Are you a doctor? You got this all right. when you were talking
ECS
to me.
and the CB1 receptors that run throughout our central nervous system, allowing for that classic elevated experience. That's super fucking interesting. Just scroll back a little bit on that, please, James. So what that tells me is that we've got something in our bodies called an endocannabinoid system. Why do we have that in our bodies unless this is something that we're supposed to be taking in on the fucking regular?
It feels right, man.
You know, like would we have a system called, you know, the lava tract and like not be eating lava? Bad example.
I like it,
But
though.
But
you know what I'm saying,
It's,
man.
it's an interesting example. You know what? You took your own spin on that one.
I was reaching. I was reaching and going for it quick.
No, I liked it. But yeah, no, that's fascinating though, eh? What was it called? An eco-cannabinoid?
Endocannabinoid system.
Cannabinoid system. Yeah.
Cannabinoid system?
Cannabinoid.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'd never heard of that before, but super interesting.
This looks like a scientific health paper. This looks
legit.
this is so
let's see.
legit.
Oh, they got pictures of chemicals. It must
Yeah,
be
man.
super legit. Yeah.
This is definitely it's one big difference with this weed. So I'm just cutting in with a.
Don't be
with
sorry,
a,
man.
The trim on this is less than spectacular.
Yeah, I noticed that too when we done
You know,
again.
like
it just-
they've got this big leaf on the back
Big
that
guard leaves, yeah.
like a human wouldn't have left that behind, unless they just really didn't give a fuck. So yeah, the Ogen was all hand trimmed, and that stuff fucking looked like it.
immaculate.
Yeah, I found more of it that came in, and the price on it has dropped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we should get our hands on some more. Then we should do another podcast. with
Already
some more.
done.
Yeah. Is it a
Already
different
done.
strain though next time?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, I've got a sativa hybrid and an indica hybrid ready to go.
Hell yeah. Are you going on joint number 2 right now?
Yes.
Okay, I just
roll
smoked
joint
my number 2.
two.
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and wait for you to catch up.
Okay, yeah, do it. This is the end of the weed though for me. Like it's I don't know if I packed a lot into that first one or what's going on here, but
So yeah, you got 4 out of mine. Looks like we're gonna get 3 out of yours.
yeah. And like your cigar too. I got the
Yeah,
maybe
but
I've
they weighed in the same though.
yeah, they did. But the amount of stem or something like that maybe is the difference. I'm kind of picking through a little bit, but I'm grabbing most everything. Like all the stuff that I've got to the side is just like, pieces of stem.
Yeah,
I got
it hits like a fucking heavyweight though, man.
I
It is so fucking strong, this weed.
I really, really feel like I'm dancing with the microphone this entire
Yeah, me
episode.
too. I
Like,
don't know what I'm
I'm past, I'm around, I'm in, I'm
I'm
out.
fucking just space cadet over here, man. This is fucking awesome.
I love it. I
It's
love
so
it,
funny.
guys. I got
Alright.
some deets on the endocannabinoid system, by the
Yeah,
way.
okay, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Fill us in,
yeah.
man.
Okay, well, hang on.
Let's take a trip into the human body.
Ooh, so in order to understand the cannabinoid, I think that's how you say it, the
Endocannabinoid.
system, it's also important to understand the key biological concept of homeostasis, which refers to any process or reaction that the body utilizes to actively maintain a stable internal environment. Ooh, that sounds interesting. In many cases, these functions geared towards maintaining balance are necessary for any organism to survive. Disturbances to physiological equilibrium, if uncorrected, can lead to impaired health, with symptoms that range from headaches to more serious diseases like arthritis, epilepsy, stroke, obesity, Alzheimer's disease, cancer, and glaucoma. The body's ability to adjust to changes and maintain homeostasis directly impacts the state of health of that organism. So here it is, they wrap it up. The endocannabinoid system is a molecular system responsible for regulating and balancing many processes in the body, including immune response, communication between cells, appetite and metabolism, memory, and more. It is through this system of receptors and metabolic enzymes that cannabinoids interact with the human body and trigger beneficial effects. Despite the integral role the endocannabinoid system has in human body function, it was discovered relatively recently, and much of its importance is only just becoming understood by scientists and the medical community at large. Ooh,
That's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Man, there's been people who have said that weed could be alien, like not from Earth. It's got some real differences. Like I'm not a botanist or anything like that, but it's got some super characteristic differences that very,
any other
very
plants.
few, if any, plants have.
I think I've heard that before too, actually.
And the way it interacts with us, the way it interacts with animals and everything like that, it's how good hemp is for everything. Like man.
It's a great plant, man. It seems
It's
to be
a
very
wonder plant.
seems to be very useful, yeah. For a lot of things.
I think that's so cool. Like what we just learned. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I hope people come here to learn.
That's why I'm here. That's why
I'm here to learn, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to learn. If school had been like this, I wouldn't have been falling asleep in grade 12 math.
Maybe we still would have been, yeah.
I did the same thing. I slept in grade 12 math. Oh, man.
People are like, you
I
took
never
grade
slept.
12 math?
I never slept in school. I just fucking left. Yeah, I just didn't go.
I didn't sleep by choice.
I was
It would
good.
just
I was good
happen.
until grade 12, and then grade 12, I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah, grade 11, I got a car, and that was the beginning of the end for me giving any fuck
kind
to
of a
go to
fuck,
school.
yeah.
Like, and I was doing band on my own time at that point, like jazz combo. There was no got 96% for all the band courses, and just have to show up for concerts. pretty
Yeah.
much.
Nice, dude.
And with jazz combo, we just had to do every second week. We had to gig somewhere in town, and we had a couple of coffee shops and shit like that that we
It's the
play gigs
sweetest
at.
fucking class ever.
And just got credit for it. So like grade 12, I had a bunch of spares and shit too.
yeah, I had a bunch of spares, and then for the class, I missed so many classes in grade 12. Oh my god, I'm lucky I got out of there in grade 12.
Were you playing the old guitar then?
Yeah, I started playing guitar, I guess, in grade 10.
Nice.
Grade 10 and 11, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't really hang out with anyone. So that was like when I'm not making a sob story for myself. It was good for me because I spent a lot of time playing guitar. Like wake up in the morning before school and play for like an hour, and then race home from school after work, or race home
After school
after school,
to work. on
not
the
to
guitar.
no work, and I would go work on guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have been your friend in high school.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to like. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not crying over here. You're crying. But no, I had friends, but like I wasn't popular, right? Yeah. So like, yeah, but it was good because I had a lot of time to play guitar. And then in grade 12, I did have friends, and I didn't have as many classes, and I was just like, fuck it to the ones that I did have.
Hey, I mean, it's live and learn, right? Don't cry for me, Bobatina.
It was grade 12. It was my last year. I was like, I'm out.
Totes, yo.
I was having fun. Who cares? I graduated. That's all that matters.
No doubt.
No doubt. Stay in school, kids.
Okay, so yeah, there was enough in the grinder that I could match you with the 4.
Okay.
It's a little bit less maybe, or I put a lot in that first one. Yeah, I'll try and even these out a bit.
Well, you were looking at it before you busted it up too. Did it bust up bigger than you thought?
No, about the same.
All right.
I tell you one thing right now. I don't even have to try it. I just know that this weed is not going to execute the stuck paper challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't look
It's
like it
not
would.
going to happen. It's not going to happen. This stuff could be like it's a little problematic to roll.
Oh my God,
So
I gotta
I'll put
say something.
Some extra work into it.
I was watching the episode from last week, and you did the stuck paper challenge, and you had the weed turd, you called it.
Yeah,
That fell right out of the paper, and you're just holding like a
The no
straight-
paper challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was watching it back, and I was like, "Fuck, we should have smoked it without a paper."
Oh no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Oh man,
I remember.
I don't think it would have gone either. But
You'd have to hot knife off the end of it if you did that. It would be.
Oh,
It would be
man.
like
I
trying to
haven't-
hoot off the end of a piece
I
of
haven't
incense.
hot knifed in years, man.
that
Yeah.
used to be a thing.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah. It was more back in the days of. Remember bubble hash?
No.
Oh
Yep.
man, yeah. James remembers
bubble hash? Tell me, what's bubble hash?
Bubble hash is a powdery kind of hash. You would get it, and it would look like more pressed weed. It would be a little bit greener, and you kind of give it a little flash with a lighter on the edge, and the edge just bubbles a little bit, and then you can kind of peel it off with your thumb,
Okay.
and it kind of flakes apart. But it's a hash that you use, or a hash that you make with cold water and ice extraction. So you take all the weed and you put it inside a big, huge bucket that has a bunch of bags in it. And the bags are all different coarseness of meshes.
Okay.
And the weed goes in the center, and you put a big, huge, like auger kind of drill bit in it, some kind of agitator, and you run it, and it just, the ice and the water and everything like that freezes all the THC crystals. They fall off the plant. It gets beaten apart. They come off, and they go through. They're the only things that make it through the screens in the bag.
Okay.
So every time you go through another level of bag, you get a more pure kind of hash. And so you pull all the plant out after you've beaten the fuck out of it, and then you drain out all the water, and you're just left with these bags that have like this goop on the inside, and then you scrape that off and dry it, and you've got like pure hash, and it's the best hash. Its equivalency to now in the extract world would be to like a live rosin.
Okay.
Live rosin is the opposite. It's heat extraction as opposed to cold extraction. All the other processes use some kind of solvent or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got to like burn it off afterwards. You might not get, probably not going to get 100% of it out. And then it's just going to be, it's not as pure. It's not as nice.
Okay.
And yeah.
Interesting.
Bubble hash is dope. I haven't seen it for a really long
I've
time.
never even heard of it. That's crazy. Yeah.
I just remember smoking it.
I've never heard of it. That's wild. I can't believe I've never heard of this before.
Back when I was in welding school, there was a guy that I knew who made bubble hash. and we do hot knife rips of bubble hash in the welding booth.
Yeah.
Pull the exhaust vent down, use the TIG torch to heat it up, do it with the TIG torch, and then blow it out into the exhaust vent.
I remember hot knifing. It was like honey oil back in the day. That was some serious shit.
Those were good times. Did you write a song?
Nope. I'm not the songwriter you are, James.
Oh, man.
I'm just the guitar player, man.
Next time.
I'm just a pretty face.
You are, my friend.
Oh no, did I? I think I made the filter too big.
You did.
Oh, is it gonna?
Oh, you goofed.
Come on. Oh.
All right, we're shutting down this podcast.
Oh, I think he's got it. She's in.
Oh.
Take a breath.
He's a champ.
Whew.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That was like real touch and go there with whether or not the paper was going to fold in on itself. Time just folds in on itself.
It's crazy how time just does that, eh?
With the MK Ultra, man, we don't actually know what's going on right now.
Oh,
just being programmed by the feds.
I'm gonna go in for number 3 here.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, here are 2 champion weed smokers.
How are you feeling, James? Are you getting high yet? I feel like the smoke is kind of dissipating already. Like it's not.
Well,
Remember earlier we were saying it was like super smoky in here. It doesn't seem that way anymore.
For the record, to our audience, I am not sharing the weed with these gentlemen, and I am being hotboxed. And yes, it is starting to lift my spirits. Yeah, I'm feeling it for sure. Yeah, it's amazing because when you look at the haze, like there's just way more than the previous episodes.
Yeah, you still feel that way? I was just saying it didn't feel that hazy. As soon as I lit up, it feels differently, obviously, with something in front of me. But
although it doesn't, it dissipates more quickly than the previous strains.
We're all stoned. Sounds like we're all stoned. Good.
Yeah, this is gonna be. This is like almost gonna be too small of a weed to smoke. Too small of a joint to smoke.
Good God, we are going off the rails fast here. Woo! We're a hot mess today. I love it. Let's keep this energy
a good
going.
time was had by all.
Yeah.
I like your shirt, Jeff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier.
Thank
I
you
like
very
your shirt a
much.
lot. Yeah.
Big shouts out to the boys in Clitoris, aka Vagina, the band.
Nice.
Vagina, the band.
Yeah. Fucking.
What were we saying?
killer.
What were we talking about before? Turn up the radio. That song.
Turn up the radio.
But turn up the radio.
Turnip.
Turn up the radio.
Turnip, the radio.
Yeah.
That was a good one, by the way.
You got some stuff pulled up here about Aurora Cannabis.
Yeah.
Here. Do you want to talk about it a little bit, James?
Sure, why
Just
not?
a little run through.
Sure, why not? So Aurora Cannabis Inc. is a Canadian licensed cannabis producer headquartered in Edmonton. It trades on the TSE and the New York Stock Exchange as ACB. So to all those investors out there, wait for it. If you want to buy the stock, wait for it. We got some news to share with you. As of late September 2018, so this is old news, Aurora Cannabis had 8 licensed production facilities, which they've closed down. Wah, wah, wah. But yeah, they had a lot of production, blah, blah, blah. It's based in Canada, blah, blah, blah. They have a partnership with countries like Denmark and countries in Latin America. It's the second largest cannabis company in the world by market capitalization after Canopy Growth, which I still hold shares in Canopy Growth, which is great. But yeah, interesting company. But they have had some recent news that, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad what happened.
This breaking news story.
They just laid off.
Sorry.
They just laid off a bunch of workers, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're reducing their flagship greenhouse production capacity and staff reduced by 75%. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, it says here on the internets, Aurora Cannabis says it's laying off 214 workers. Sad, sad. And its chief science officer is retiring, the latest of a series of cuts to hit the Edmonton-based cannabis company. The spokeswoman, Michelle Leffler, said in addition to the layoffs, operations at the company's Aurora Sky facilities, the company's flagship marijuana greenhouse south of Edmonton will be reduced by 75%. Wow. Yeah, they got to
Yeah.
focus on their premium flower product, apparently.
That's the route to go. I mean, it's real interesting. I'll try not to. I want to hear more about this. I'll try to interject here quickly, but it was almost like the weed industry came out hot. They were competing against the black market, and they were like, "Oh no, anything will do. Just send them weed.
Just get product out. Yeah.
But man, they should have been selling the best stuff for the cheapest price, you know, and trying to go that route. That's what I
You're saying
think.
their problem was
And
starting off with inferior product.
inferior product at too high of a price. And when you're competing directly against the guy who last sold everybody their last bag of weed, which is whatever black market outlet or gray market online, I mean, you gotta come correct, right? Like it's
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
yeah. And now they're figuring it out. Now they're concentrating on the premium stuff. But
Yeah, well, they're hit it out of the park with this MK Ultra, man.
Yeah.
This is like,
back to you in the studio, James.
yeah.
Well,
in
I
the
mean-
field. Is he in the studio or is he in the field?
Field
Our
reporter,
man, yeah, our field reporter. Yeah. he's
Are
out-
we in the field?
No, we're in the studio.
We're in the studio.
you guys are clearly in the weed field for sure.
We're in the field.
We're in the field.
We're
He
the
is
field
the
reporters.
studio.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He is the studio. James is the studio. He's like Hal in
Yes,
in
yes,
Su- in
and that's
Space Odyssey.
and that's why you can't see him. He is an entity bigger than image.
time itself.
Check out this beautiful room they have, eh? This is their
Yeah.
big sky facility.
Oh my god.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
sky class facilities. I looked that up when I saw it. It's a term that they coined themselves.
I love it.
What do they call it? Sorry.
Aurora Sky facility.
Yeah, well, the thing that they call it is a sky class,
sky class,
facility.
okay.
Automated sky class facility. So it's like a combination of sun and some
Hydroponics.
lights in there. I'm not sure if they're growing in dirt or hydro or what they're doing, but the fact that they're letting in sunlight and doing it in like a climate controlled kind of greenhouse is
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, look at that view, man.
As you
I
can,
like the yeah. I like the glass, like the sky.
as you can see, this is during the day, and you can see some lights in this photo.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, perhaps, and I am not a weed scientist, but I wonder if when, you know, the sun goes down, they turn on more lights to just keep it rolling.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cloudy days. They
Well,
want,
yeah, cloudy days. They gotta keep their growing cycle of light and dark,
Yeah.
like consistent for the flowering and the pre-flowering, like the plant time. But one thing that I've thought about with that, like I know that when you're growing medical weed, which they've got medical companies and recreational
Yeah, we were looking at
companies,
that before.
you're allowed to have more plants at your spot
If it's medical weed,
if it's outdoor.
Ah.
The standards for
Really?
growing outdoor versus indoor are separate. Like they're different standards, and I'm pretty sure you can have more plant if you're growing outdoor. And it's like that's so by doing
why.
that greenhouse kind of thing, that's essentially outdoor. And then there's rules with like what the footings are like, if it's a finished building, all that kind of stuff. That's more for the MCPR standards, which I think is like the if we had our license and we were growing our own weed,
Yeah, okay.
right, that kind of thing, just for ourselves.
That's interesting. Like, why do they let you grow more outdoors?
I don't know.
COVID
know.
related.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All the plants have to be 6 feet apart now.
Oh, maybe.
Wah, wah.
So it says here about the Sky facility. They intend to transform the Sky facility into a high-value cultivation center for our premium strains. In turn, better align production with current demand for premium flowers. So I guess they're just really focusing on a better product now.
Yeah.
Which is that speaks to your point, Jeff. That's great.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they're going for. And what I think they figured out too is that really, like, for lack of a better term, you got to break a lot of eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah.
So
And
true.
they're like, if they shoot for premium stuff, their flower that falls short will be the perfect stuff to come in hot for the budget market.
Exactly.
As opposed to shooting for that budget market. And then if you fall short, you've got something that's all you can do is like make vape stuff with it.
Yeah.
And when your vape products are coming in at like a THC value lower than like say 70%, like people are kind of, you know, it's not that great.
Yeah.
And you can't really cram more in, I don't think. It's just what you're going to be getting from the flower.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. And if I am, educate me, put the links, put all that kind of stuff, leave your videos in the comments.
Yeah, leave all the comments.
Yeah. But yeah, the company's kind of doing a reflash, which is, you know, is good. If they've done this and they were shooting for budget kind of stuff, I'm excited to see what they come up with for good stuff.
Premium
Is this supposed to be budget stuff?
Well, that's what I think. This is the top of what they were able to get out before when they were doing more the budget minded approach,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I got you.
You know,
So now going forward
like there's certain standards which are having to be hit, I think, to get that premium flower. You can't go at it as a big time production kind of factory and still get that premium flower, because there's so much that you lose in that automated process.
Yeah.
Like Ogen doing their,
I was just gonna mention Ogen again.
yeah, doing their full plant hangs,
yeah,
hand trim, all that kind of stuff. Like
small batch
that's
grows,
kind of
right?
that's kind of where you got to be.
Yeah.
And these big guys now who are so overinvested, they're like a Hollywood actor who's, you know, getting paid the big bucks, and now they're living on, you know, like $250,000 a month in payments.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they don't get that next movie, and they're like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do? You know, that's kind of where these guys are now with a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trailing off.
Kind of lost me with the Hollywood actor analogy, but I was still mostly with you. Yeah.
I think
I was with you through the rest of it for sure.
I think the analogies is where I lose most people.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not very good at the three-pointers.
I'm always with you on them, though.
Yeah?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty in sync with you, I think.
Well, should we do the cigars next?
Have them together?
Yeah. I'm pretty far behind.
Yeah, you are pretty far behind.
So
I'm high as fuck right now. This is okay. I'm just gonna come in and say it. Like, as far as like potency wise, as far as like just loopiness and like up in my headness, this is the strongest stuff I think we've smoked so far.
It's
like,
yeah.
The Ojan was awesome, and even the Marley was like right up there. But like there's something in this MK Ultra that's just.
It's just a little different.
Yeah.
Just a little
different. After the first round, I told you it was going to kick my ass. I could just feel it. And like, man, I am. I don't know. I'm done. Man. I'm fucking just. Yeah.
It's got a citrus kind of taste, eh? Like, I'm starting to get a little bit of that like lingering smoke flavor, like on my tongue. It's almost zapping it a little bit like some citrus.
Okay.
Interesting you say that, because on the website it says that it has, it's an ultimate smoke. It's potent. It's an earthy aroma, and it reminds us of the Rocky Mountains after a rainstorm.
Oh.
That's cool. I like that imagery. But it has subtle flavors of wood, lemon, and pine. So you said citrusy. The lemon. Yeah. The inhale is smooth and easy. Well, what do you guys feel? Is the inhale smooth and easy?
I'm having an easy time with it.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
You were saying earlier that it was like...
It's on and off. Like, I got to be careful how I smoke it, and then if I can talk afterwards or not. But
it says it hits you right away.
Yes.
Noticeably, like
definitely.
By the end of that joint, the first one.
I love this. You got to hear this, guys. Aurora's MK Ultra always leaves us dreaming of a refreshing lemonade after a long hike through the evergreens. Oh, I love that.
It's funny with the the citrus. I don't get it, and I haven't gotten it so much as a flavor, but I'm getting it like a zap on my tongue, like a citrus zap.
That's cool.
That's like how
Good God.
I'm getting it. It's yeah, it's a little different.
Me, Reiki.
Oh, it's different. All right. Holy
I think we've
smokes.
probably trashed on Aurora enough. I mean, I like their stuff. I don't want to drag them through the muck anymore.
No. I mean, it's you know what though. The thing is, I think it's important to share
I
this
don't think
kind
we
of
did either.
information.
Yeah.
So
It's not
that
that they got
people
to a rocky start, but they're definitely like they've got like
Well, yes.
killer product right now.
Yeah.
Right? So
I do
Definitely
for
not trying to
the
trash talk anyone.
for the people listening. James is quite the aficionado when it comes to the old dollar bills, y'all. He knows his finance and all that kind of stuff, and even has a past in it. So yeah, there's definitely going to be investment talk and financial world talk on this about the weed companies and all that kind of stuff,
100%.
which is cool
see how they're doing. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that kind of stuff.
I think it's important if a company is floundering like this company currently is, but they're restructuring, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. That happens. There's a lot of money thrown into the weed world when it was legalized in Canada. And you know what? They just got to restructure their finances. And they're, you know, if they're creating a more of a premium flower product, I think that is that's very good news. And I think their stock will go up. And I think it's important for people to understand who want to dabble in investing. Like, hey, it's important to arm yourself with information. And that's something we're trying to do on this podcast.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And
I got zoned out there because I got really focused on just on how I was looking right now and how I was coming off. I just felt really weird in my head for a second.
And this plant,
I'm
look at
very,
that pretty
like-
plant.
is there was a Wikipedia page for
Yeah.
Aurora.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see if it talks in there about how they do their growing, like if they're hydroponic or dirt or anything like that.
Copy that. I'll check.
Yeah, because you mentioned before you didn't know. I was actually
That would
gonna ask if you
be
could pull that up, too.
interesting. Like with a like that place that they were showing there. There's that Sky Class facility.
Yeah.
I mean it was like a football field of weed.
It was huge.
Fucking massive. And so if that, like, I'm really interested to know, like, if that's all one big dirt bed or how that's watered.
Yeah.
Like it said that was highly automated, the facility.
Okay.
So that would be pretty
Yeah.
neat to
Did you
see.
find anything about that?
Robots everywhere.
Weed
There are
bots.
Weed bots.
Pot bots.
Yeah, I'm checking out on the old, just checking out how I can figure out how it's like, how they're growing. Like, are they growing it in dirt? Are they growing it in, you know, peat moss? I don't know. Just checking it out. Keep showing your pretty faces on camera there, gentlemen.
Well, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here, man.
Yeah.
Good God, I don't know. Fucking baked right now.
Yeah. It's fucking great. The palms are going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my palm roll, man. You got like a little pointer before you got to do the palm roll too. We'll smoke,
Yeah.
we'll smoke them together. Smoke a
Okay.
little cigars
Sounds
together.
good. Sounds good.
I'll hold off for you for a minute.
Here,
I could
rock a cig if you want.
Yeah, you don't mind?
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. I'm having another cigarette then too.
Oh.
I'm running low.
Oh. Okay.
What's up, man?
So here's something, guys. I
Okay.
just like, I'll try to speak to it a little bit more.
Please.
Having said that, I need to get a little more research. So, to all the listeners, please don't crucify me for getting this wrong. But I saw this note. So here, as you can see, class actions lawsuits
Yep.
in the United States. Okay, this is surprising to me, and okay. So during the fourth quarter of 2019, several law firms in the United States announced class action lawsuits against Aurora, citing the abrupt decline in stock price, which is not fair. Like from the company's perspective, like what the hell, man?
Yeah.
That's just the market driven. Like,
Yeah,
oh
they have
my
no.
God.
Yeah.
Failure to complete. Now here's the other flip side: failure to complete planned capital investments. So they got a lot of money, and they didn't achieve their goals with said money. They're levered. They're highly leveraged, obviously. And then it says here they have missed revenue and profit forecast by the company, were misleading to public investors. And so that to me speaks to the fact that they're a new company. that they got all this flooding of money and they didn't know how to properly, like, really just like report earnings, like prospectus style, to the markets. And so class action lawsuit, oh my gosh. So that would be an impairment charge, by the way.
Okay, yeah, because I saw that in some of the news stuff, and I was
Yeah, we were
wondering
wondering what that meant.
there was like multiple impairment charges, and I was thinking that it was like people being, like fucked up at work or something like that, or a CEO, like wasted on a golf course somewhere.
Well, think about the term impairment, like your ability to conduct regular business is impaired by curveballs.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, so the people, right, the charges are because the people have been impaired by Aurora, not that Aurora is impaired in, or anybody with their staff is impaired in some facet. It's that they've done things that have resultingly impaired other people's ability
And
to keep on with
I
business.
did actually assume that it was
Is that,
like...
is that right? Kind of?
Sounds, James?
Well, so that is one example. There are many facets to this term.
Can I say something real quick then before we get on? Before you finish? Oh, I do want you to finish that though. But I was gonna say I did assume that it was that they impaired, that they impaired something else. That it wasn't like them that were impaired.
Okay,
I just didn't understand like who or how or like how like what that meant. But now I get it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, well, it's interesting our differences of thoughts about just the term impairment and impairment charges.
Yeah, it's funny
right?
how when you don't know what it means, how like our minds just went different ways with it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So impairment charges also could be things like, what affects a company's overhead? So they had to, like they announced, they had to close production facilities. They're laying off staff. So staff needs like proper severance. If they're laying off staff, you got to pay staff severance. Like that would be considered, that I would venture to say, and please correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, but that would be considered an impairment charge as well. There's all these facets of running a business, but like your overhead costs, if they get affected by stuff that kind of is sort of out of the company's control, impairment charges.
Okay. I'm with you guys now.
That is crazy. At the read that right above the most there. Aurora claimed it had reduced. This is its status at the end of 2019. Aurora claimed it had reduced the cost of producing cannabis to 85 cents a gram when the national retail price of cannabis was at $7.37 per gram.
Holy smokes. That's insanity. So, that's another impairment charge. When you have a bunch of, you just grew too much stuff and you can't sell it. That it's just like it goes bad, so you just got to clear it out. So that's an impairment charge.
There were
too.
huge sales like last summer, like probably June going through into like maybe September. I was seeing massive sales at a lot of the stores here in Winnipeg, and they were just blowing through like stock, and they were like, no, we're not going to have this again.
Really?
And it was a lot of companies that seemed to do that. They just wanted to get as much stuff out as possible. Like when it first came out, when the market first opened up, it was hard to find something that was over like 13-14%.
Yeah.
Like in terms
Yeah,
of
the stuff was
THC?
very
Yeah.
the
Okay.
stuff was very like
And now that's
not impressive when it first hit the shelves.
yeah. I got some stuff the other day from Haven Street that we'll have to try that brand in the future.
Okay.
I'm a fan of them.
I'm not familiar.
And it was 26 or 28%.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can fuck with that.
Yeah. It was pretty heavy. It was nighttime stuff. And I tried some of the Marley Black, the
That's the
indica.
indica, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the Super Skunk.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
And Super Skunk is a nice strain. It was not bad. It was heavy hitting.
Okay.
It was definitely like not a daytime one for me.
Yeah.
Because it would equate to way too early of a nap.
I was smoking some UK cheese the other day. I can't remember who the grower was, but I love UK cheese, man.
Cheese strains, blue cheese. Oh,
I
man.
love weed
I
that
love some
smells
cheese.
that
Yeah.
just like that dank cheesy smell. Oh, that just turns me
The
on.
cheese
dude. Fuck.
smell, the like ammonia, kind of like weird, like fucking like you
Oh,
just
I
smell
love
like
it,
cat
man.
piss, like that kind of hit.
Yeah.
Is super unique. I really like it in
I love
weed.
it, yeah.
And a lot of people can't handle it, but yeah, I knew guys back on Vancouver Island that would always be like, "Oh man, it's got to have that cat piss."
Yeah.
It
The
was
cat
always
piss.
the
Okay.
cat
that-
piss, yeah.
No, we should get some cheese at some point too.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here, and I got a couple of things to share with you guys. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
share some
take
stuff,
over
man,
control
yeah.
of the mouse,
Do it.
if that's okay,
Yeah,
and start a little.
I gotta fix my headphones here. I'm all sorts of fucked up.
Hey, man, show us your beautiful hair. Truck Fighters, look at that hat. I love it.
Yeah, Truck Fighters is an awesome band, man.
Nice.
Yeah. All
Shout
right.
out to Truck Fighters, everyone.
So.
Yeah, they're
get this
awesome,
turned around. Sorry for the mic noise.
Awesome, like stoner desert rock band from the
Where
from
they
Europe.
from? Europe?
I want to say, oh man, I don't know. I want to say Finland. I might be wrong. about that, though,
Nice. I love that country. One of my favorite countries I've ever been to.
So last week we were talking about last week or the week before. If you guys want to flash back, I'm pretty sure we were talking about something called smell-o-vision.
Yes, we
Do you
did.
guys remember talking
Yes.
about
Did you
smell-o-vision?
find?
Yes.
Did you-
Okay, so there is a company out there called Real Feel. And Real Feel is a VR olfactory technology supplement with a mask.
What the? Okay,
piece.
wait, back up. What the fuck does that mean? Say it one more time. Say it slowly.
It's a VR add-on olfactory technology, like face piece.
Interesting. Even when
So-
you say it's slow, it doesn't mean anything.
I don't think I
Cool.
said. I don't think I
Yeah.
could say that the same. Like,
Yeah, say it a third
I'm
time.
pretty.
yeah. I don't want to watch the playback and see if you're even saying the same thing.
So this here that you see this guy, just flash this for a quick second, James.
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just little.
No problem. I'll explain it to the webpage for people if they want to check it out. Is
Yeah, here it is.
feelreal.com. And so this is, I don't think you can actually buy it. It hasn't been FDA approved yet. So this is like the smell package, and these are all little smell cartridges that use the same things as what you would smell with vapes.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
where they're running into problems with the FDA, is because their vape smells, and the FDA is like not really that cool right now
Not
with
cool on
like
vapes,
new
with-
vape
yeah.
stuff, right? I'm not sure about it here in Canada, but this is like right now like a GoFundMe kind of thing, to the best of my knowledge.
I want to go fund this.
And
Tell me more. I
so
don't even know what it is yet,
it's
other than you smell.
so you put it on the VR mask underneath like this, and you smell the virtual reality.
Wait. Go back to that guy with the thing on his face again. Look at that. Just like mask. He looks like
Nice.
what was that?
Cyclops.
Bionicles.
Cyclops from Marvel or whatever.
Well,
X-Men.
that's just a normal VR, but that's like so much bigger.
Man, that's like full blown cyborg mask.
So you could take that off, but so with that there, you can smell the virtual reality. It's
Yep.
also got haptic feedback sensors, so it vibrates and can make you feel like you just got shot in the head or slapped or something like that.
That's awesome. I would love to feel like I just got shot.
Yeah,
in the head.
exactly. While you're smelling the gunpowder.
That's what I've always thought when
While
I play
you're
like
smelling the
like,
gunpowder.
yeah. I'll play video games, so I don't even have any reference there. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I've no reference.
So they've got it set up for action things where you've got like a bank of 6 or 9 smells that you put in, and then they've got relaxation ones for like meditating and stuff, and then they're giving you smells with that, and it's got little heat elements in there so that you can feel the sun of the desert. And then it's got little fans, so that if there's wind going on, you feel the wind,
So, like,
and little misters.
you're
So if
kidding
you're
me, you can
no,
feel
no,
the
no,
wind?
So, but
I'm not.
In what
Yeah, it's got
context
little
would you use
misters.
this? Like, would you use it like playing a video game? Or-
Yeah, for a video game or immersion or meditating, anything like that. A VR experience, any VR experience.
Just meditating
So-
on the beach somewhere and you get shot in the head.
Yeah, so yeah, can you
It's a
really?
It's
Can
new,
you?
new
Can you?
technology? We're still working out the kinks. Sometimes it just feels like you get shot in the head.
That's fucking hilarious. So they say for realistic, can you truly feel yourself on a racetrack without the smell of burning rubber, or grasp the intensity of a battle without the gunpowder odor? And then for relaxing, is
when you wanna
or watch a
relax.
rom-com and smell the aroma of lavender in her perfume or the mint in his breath. They're trying to hit all the marks to sell to every demographic here. That's
yeah.
what's going on. Yeah. And but they know who really pulls the strings in the relationships because they put the relaxing thing above the realistic thing for the guys. The guys are in. The guys are just like, oh, that looks way cooler. I don't
More
give a fuck
VR.
what it
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
I'm in.
Look at that guy. Show the guy again. I just
Oh,
pulled it up.
man.
Yeah, show that guy. He's like
Fuck.
Cyclops from
Okay, imagine
X-Men.
the next step is like shoulder pads and then like whole
They've
thing.
got haptic feedback tank top like suits.
Just full robot suits.
Like
soon.
vests.
Just pretty soon that's what we're all gonna look like that. We're all just gonna be robots. soon.
Yeah, so the supported titles
MK
you
Ultra.
can do like
CIA
they've got
robots.
some pretty big games like hooked up with them. There's YouTube VR coming up, but there's a Skyrim. There's all kinds of different games, and these games are now kind of made, some of them, for this.
Okay, I was gonna
like I was saying, where like with this,
So these-
Guns and
sorry.
Stories Bulletproof is like, yeah, big time on
So
smelling
these
the cow
games
shit.
have agreed to like they've signed on with these guys
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, and
So
they've
this is
developed
gonna
the
be
game.
coming down the road. This is actually
Oh yeah,
happening.
this is This
Good
is the next.
God,
the next
I thought this was like Kickstarter project that was gonna be like, no way.
It is a Kickstarter thing, but it's a reality. Like
reality.
I'm pretty
this
sure they've
coming- yeah.
they've got more than prototypes. Like they're out there. They're just not allowed
man.
to be sold.
We have to get those.
But I could be wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. So there's water mist. Let's bring this up for a quick sec.
It's up.
Perfect. Thank you. Water mist, heat, vibration, wind, the alchemy of aromas. They've got so for meditating, but it's like they want you to know that she's really meditating, so they're like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
pull the mask up so you
She's
can
very
see that
focused.
she's
Yeah.
meditating. That was
just
maybe
meditate normally
that was
without the
an
fucking
interesting-
smell mask.
As
Good
far as
God.
choices go, that was an interesting choice as far as the graphic there. It's so good. It's like you're not even wearing the mask.
Yeah.
It smells just like the room you're in.
Why not? Well, if the room smells good, hey, it's good vibes.
Compatible
man.
with a bunch of different VR headsets and colors. So yeah, it's fucking
All
cool.
kinds of different colors.
Pretty cool.
I like it a lot.
Feel Real video editor. You can create
Oh
your own
my
enhanced
God.
tracks for video experiences and games with our handy editor.
Whoa.
So you could do a VR release of a video game of a music video live performance
Yeah.
and actually smell the bass player cutting farts.
Experienced modders can even modify the scent cartridges themselves, combining and creating their own unique experiences. You can combine the cartridges.
Well, yeah, and
make
for people who work
new
in
smells
vape
that no one's ever
stores
smelled
and all that
before.
kind of stuff, yeah, that's
crazy,
it's
man.
next generation VR and VR making, because the industry is all pushed by people making games for VR and
It's
developing that
fair
kind of
of me
thing,
to think
right?
this is ridiculous, right?
That's totally fair.
'Kay,
That's
cool,
Totally,
yeah.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. And now the next thing that I want to get to, because it's totally ridiculous, is imagine if you had this for this next video I'm going to show you, where it's a little take back in time. We can't actually show this because it's a YouTube video and we'll get taken
we'll
down,
watch
but
it.
we'll be able to watch it and we'll explain what's going on for everybody here. It's the 50th anniversary of the time that humans decided the best way to remove a rotting whale corpse from a beach
Oh god.
was to blow it
Whoa.
up with a whole bunch of TNT.
No way. That was what they did. I thought they were gonna pick up
Seriously,
the
they did
forklift.
This was actually a thing. Yeah, this was a thing. And it's been 50 years since this was reported.
Sorry, no.
So it's gonna run. It's a 3-minute video. We can do whatever with it and take it back. But so they've been packing it. They've tried to figure out what to do with it.
That's
And,
a gray.
why-
That's a gray whale, by the way. I believe that's a gray whale, I could be wrong.
Stupid.
but I think it's a gray whale.
yeah,
They're so beautiful.
So these
Aw.
geniuses in Florence, Oregon, the
Geniuses.
the whole town
Geniuses.
came. The whole town came out to see, and I don't know really who like decided who was the guy to be like, I know what to do. I've got all
Yeah.
this TNT at my barn. See,
I love how you started this by saying that they found the best way to do it was to blow it up with TNT.
Yeah,
like, And what, like, how did anyone imagine that was gonna go? That's
man, we've tried nothing, and I'm all out of ideas.
God. Oh man.
Sounds like George Thornton.
What do
George
you-
Thornton from the State Highway Division. He's like, well, you know what? Sometimes there's a rock in our way when we're building a road. And you know what we do? We blow that motherfucker up.
Oh man.
The State Highway Division is the guy that blows the whale up? That's insane. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I've never seen this before. This is insane.
Doug Brazil.
Filmed by Doug. Is it a whole movie?
Yeah.
Is this like a-
well, it's just a little like they were shooting this for a while, but
looks
this
like-
is and it's remastered, by the way.
It looks like the beginning of like a MASH episode.
Yeah. So imagine now getting to experience this down the road with Smell-O-Vision VR.
Oh god.
Real feel, and you can smell the gunpowder. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh man, this is like Mythbusters.
I'm going to go for the reaction from you guys. Oh man, I love the whale.
Oh,
See, that's so
but
sad
now,
though.
but now, what goes up must come down,
True.
and that's what they didn't think of.
Yeah, which is so like
They
that's
thought
the
it would
thing,
just
like-
be vaporized, but no.
It's like, yeah, you don't
They just
vaporize shit with
they
TNT.
just
You just
they just
explode it.
coated their town in whale.
You can see on the camera lens, and I will put this up. You can see it on the camera lens that there are artifacts now on the camera lens that are from the whale, and that's so sad.
Oh
it's
man,
brutal.
Yeah, and now the fucking cars in the parking area all fucked up with huge chunks of whale.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because it wasn't just like misted; it was like blown apart, right? And there's
Holy
like
smokes.
like 20-pound steaks of whale. Just like,
Wow.
what do you say on your
blown.
insurance claim?
That would be an act of nature or act of God. That's
Act of-
what
yeah.
you have
But
to
it's
say.
not. It's an act of the highways
Act of the
division.
Highway division. Yeah, exactly. What's his fucking name? Rick?
Yeah, it's the act of Rick and the State Highway
Rick and
Division.
State Highway Division.
Formerly of the highway division.
Former. Yeah.
Really? Like,
Now there's like,
oh, look at this.
Oh, that's
man.
so brutal, man.
Oh, man. Yeah,
well, it was already dead. It was already dead.
I know,
Yes,
but still.
but,
fuck.
okay, so-
Woo, that's
So
crazy.
that's fun, right? Now
But
this
they-
gentleman
You
here.
got that mask though, just like chunks hitting you in the head. The vibration on the mask though.
Yeah. So that was a little thing that I found that just popped up. You know,
Yeah.
I find these things on the internet, or they find me. And keeping with the animal phase here, or theme, and an animal in a place where humans are like, that animal shouldn't be there, so we're gonna get it out of here. Here's a different instance where some humans are actually helping an animal. And I'll just let this play. This is a little clip from the middle, and then they go back to the beginning, and you see the whole sequence over here. And we'll just describe for people what's going on here. Maybe show
It's
it.
like it's leaning over like a dam. Is it in? I guess it's an enclosure for an animal.
Looks
It's
like
a big water tank, and I
Okay.
think that this is somewhere in India.
Okay.
Oh, man.
How the fuck do you get out?
So
It's a
see
snake.
there.
It's a cobra.
Yeah, there's a cobra.
What?
That's inside this big water tank.
Holy
you know?
shit.
And it's obviously fallen in there, And these nice people are like, oh man,
You gotta get it
I
out.
fucking love me a cobra.
Yeah, let's
and
save it.
so let's save this cobra.
Oh, no.
And I don't want to drink this cobra eventually. I don't want the cobra in my water. I don't know if this is for irrigation or whatever. So there's like, okay, let's figure this out. So this guy climbs down. He's got one of the little
Snake
cobra
cat.
catchers.
Yeah. Cobra Kai's.
Yeah, and
nice.
the cobra's like already hooded up. It's like, man, I'm in a bad place here, and this ain't getting any better.
He's ready to fuck
Doesn't
someone
realize he doesn't understand English, or they're not speaking English, but
Snakes definitely.
he doesn't understand human. But he's still so he gets it. Now these guys are so fucking chill with the snake, so chill with the
Not
snake.
chill. That's
They're
aggressive, dude.
Well, no, like they're not scared of it. That's what I mean by chill.
Yeah.
You can tell.
They're
holy
unaffected by the
God.
snake. So now the snake definitely isn't going to go back to him. They were throwing rocks trying to divert him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll get him over to you. I'll fuck with the snake." And he just doesn't care. He's like, "No, man. I outswim snakes all the time. I've been outswimming snakes since I was a kid." And so he just goes over and he's like, "Hey, snake," and gives some splashes. And
He's going in with the snake, man. He's just totally going for it.
well, yeah, he's like, I'll direct him over to you.
He's trying to keep his head away from.
Yeah,
what he's
Frank.
trying to do.
Frank, I'll get him over to you. Frank, get on the ladder here. And so this goes on for a little while. Snake doesn't quite know what's going on, but eventually it comes around, and now this guy here, we'll call him Terry.
Oh my God.
Terry!
Yeah. Terry's like, oh fuck, I don't know about this, and he doesn't have the stick or nothing. So Terry just grabs the snake by the motherfucking
by the
tail.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
Terry's on it.
Maybe bring this up for a quick second here. We can show it for a couple of
Holy
seconds.
shit.
Terry's
Ah!
got it. Terry's got it by the tail.
That's how you
and
handle snakes.
and
No,
Terry
it's not.
Terry's like, all right, I've been holding snakes by the tail since I was a child.
Yeah.
You outswim snakes all the time. I hold them by tails. I know where to hold them. You can't get me. And the snake's trying to climb up itself. And so this guy's like, Terry can't climb, right? Because he's only got one hand. So they
Oh
just
my
pass it up. They just pass it up. Pass it up.
there's
Pass it
yeah,
up.
snake.
Okay. I'm just gonna pause this here for a second and back this up because I think this is worth showing.
Okay, all queued up. Go for it, bro.
All right. So, hey Terry, pass me that snake.
Yeah.
Here you go, man. And you just pass it up and just pass it up. Oh man, fuck. And so they just hold it up here, and now they're all buddies with the snake. And this guy's laughing. He's like, I've got the snake stick. I've got the cobra
that
catchers.
thing.
And so they're all like, hey, let's just take a picture with this cobra. And the cobra's like hooded up. Like, I'm just gonna
Look at
back that up.
I
And they're
already
like,
got it, but
photo up with the fucking cobra. They're
Check it.
all crouched around.
Check it.
And this guy's just, I don't know quite what he's saying, but just
He's definitely doing a Steve Irwin impression.
these guys and their abilities to chill with the cobra, and the cobra's not chilling with them. Like, cobra's hooded up. He's not having it.
Dang. Oh my God, it's crazy.
And so then they put him in a bottle, and this guy just is like, I've done this. I've bottled snakes since I was a kid.
Snake bottler.
Yeah, snake bottler.
just shake it
And
out.
now, snake
Just beat
unbottler,
it-
and he's
beat
like,
it out of there, yeah.
you gotta reach in with a stick and grab him, man. He doesn't want to come out. He didn't want to go in. Now he doesn't want to come out.
So I grew up in, Manitoba here, but my mother grew up in Paraguay, and she told me all her stories about how they handled snakes. So Paraguay, South American country, oh my gosh, snakes everywhere.
Cobras?
And like, oh no, more like sand snakes, copperheads down there, but like venomous snakes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Rattlers, they had rattlesnakes down there
For sure.
And when my mother was like 4 or 5 years old, she totally did not even, like, she was not afraid of snakes. And they were able to neutralize the snakes. But my mother told me many times, you just pick them up by the tail. They can't touch you. You just pick them up by the tail and hold it outside your body, just like that guy did. And they can be the most venomous snake ever. Oh, you're fine. So yeah,
Seems
fascinating
so
stuff.
crazy, man. Grab by its tail, it just like swings around. Like, what if it? Oh my god.
Have you ever grabbed a rat by the tail and held it up?
No.
No. Okay, I've done that too. A big rat.
Yeah, me too.
And
I was wearing welding gloves at the time, so I wasn't really.
My
too
brother
scared,
used to have
but-
rats actually.
but like a big sewer rat, like it's like this big. It's like
Whoa,
it's
yeah.
like probably 7 pounds. You know,
Sure, wasn't
And
a
you
capybara?
grab it by the
Capybara?
capybara. Yeah.
Capybara.
But yeah, you grab them by the tail, and then they just don't have the strength to be able to bite you. And so same thing with the snake. Moral of the story, anyways. Yeah.
I like snakes.
I think they're cool.
I like snakes.
Yeah, snakes are dope. I had some snakes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
we'd go around and have a 2-man snake catching operation.
I'm slapping you right now.
Where there was yeah, man. And there was like vacant lots, and so we'd find like pieces of plywood and shit and place them in like good spots in the
Okay.
vacant lots. And then our 2-man snake catching operation was one man was a flipper and one man was a catcher. And because the snakes would go underneath the plywood, right, and
Yeah.
chill in there.
So one person to flip the plywood, the other person to grab the snake.
Yeah, yeah, and that was our
What kind
game.
of snakes are they?
Like garter
Garter
snakes,
snakes?
yeah, a couple of king snakes, but nothing poisonous. There's no poisonous snakes on Vancouver
Yeah,
Island.
yeah.
And and so just there was nothing,
Cool.
no problems. Yeah,
That's sweet though.
yeah. And
We should
then-
start up a 2-man snake hunting operation.
Oh man, out here there's fucking the snake pits and shit like that. Have you been out to those?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
What is it? Narcissus
Narcisse pits or whatever, Narcisse sands or whatever, I forget.
Something
but
like
that's
that.
here in Manitoba.
Yeah, I went school field trip. I think it was like grade. Could have been anywhere between grade 1 and grade 6. I have
grade
no
1
idea.
and grade 12.
Yeah,
when you
It's
skipped.
funny. I stopped off at them on one of the tours, and it could have been, any number of, I can't remember what band I was with,
Yeah.
or like what tour. I
Stopped
was
off at the
on,
snake
like-
pits with the
yeah,
band?
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
little
wild.
band
Yeah,
outing,
they
I like
weren't. They
that.
weren't actually going on at the time, but it was like you'd see the signs and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah,
and we
okay.
walked around. And,
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember going when I was a kid, and it was super, super fucking busy. Like with snakes, I mean, like just everywhere, crazy.
I think it's called
So
the
cool.
Narcisse snake pits.
Narcisse snake pits. We can look that up. I think Jess got another video here though too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Jeff, you're the boss
yeah,
right now.
Yeah. So this segment, I'm going to ask you before I kick this off: deadly or dead?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you got to answer.
You gonna
Is
put-
this?
Oh,
is,
is he gonna-
is this guy going to be deadly or is he going to be dead?
I think he's gonna be dead. I think he looks like he's gonna front
And
flip.
James?
I don't know, man.
Okay, so this is a question that
I don't know what he's
must
gonna do.
answer.
I don't know what he's gonna do though. Is this thing?
I think he's gonna be okay. I
What's
think
his,
so.
what's his stance all about? Like I don't know.
The
what he's gonna
tank
do.
top and man bun tells me that he's got all the power on his side.
I can rock a man bun. I don't know, man.
You could.
I don't know what his stance is all about. I don't know what movie he's going for. What's gonna happen right now? So it's hard for me to really judge it. But I'm gonna go with dead. I don't know.
You're going to go with dead?
I think it's I
Okay.
I'm trying to read you more
James,
than the
deadly
video
or
right
dead?
now.
I feel like this is his audition for the new Flashdance movie that will come up sometime down the road. So he's a dancer.
Oh,
do you wanna do-
okay. That should be the thing. Deadly, dead, or dorky.
Oh,
Well, let's
then
find
dorky.
out.
Okay,
find
okay,
out.
okay.
Let's,
here we go.
let's see it. Let's see it.
Fire it up, bud. Oh man, I think he's okay.
Oh
he's-
yeah.
Oh,
Holy smokes! This is crazy.
whoa!
Yeah.
So he just
So for everybody
professionally-
watching at home, this guy is just like the front flip master,
Shit,
and
front- yeah.
he front flips off of everything and continues to front flip once he hits the ground.
Yeah, he
sometimes he lands on his back.
somersaults out of everything. Oh my god! But
Yeah.
jumping from like off of bridges and stuff, like not
Oh,
impossibly tall,
unbelievable
but like
drops!
crazy
Just
drops.
a little bit of sand
And
there
just
that you
ro-
can maybe like
rolls-
toe tap.
Rolls out of them so perfectly.
In the
Look at that.
In the stunt world, they call that a toe tap. When you
Ooh.
just hit with your feet first before the body hit. And sometimes you can toe tap to take away some inertia, but
Yeah.
sometimes you can't because you're spinning in such a way that if you toe tap, it will like slam you you know, into the ground harder or make you land on your head or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Nice, man.
yeah, like like onto solid things, onto unsolid things. He's spinning and flipping. It's pretty fucking wild.
I fucking
It's
love this
pretty
guy. This
fucking
guy's so
wild.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he a stuntman? Is that what he does professionally? He must be, right?
He probably does all kinds of things.
Parkour.
His
Yeah, definitely.
like
parkour.
is Dominic Di Tommaso, and he's a Red Bull guy. It's yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Did he fall from the sky outside of the orbit of the Earth?
That was a cool Red
You
Bull thing.
just front flipped in.
Yeah, he just front flipped in,
Just
parkour
front flipped
style.
in. That's how it's just a front flip around the orbit of the Earth and just broke through the atmosphere.
Yeah, the original parachute guy
flipping.
should have done more tricks. That was the thing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Did you?
Have you guys seen? Sorry, have you guys seen the video? Oops. Okay. Get rid of that. Sorry. Have you guys? That's the end of my segments.
I love it though, bud. I love it. I love that you're taking control of the computer technologies.
Have you guys seen?
This still blows my mind.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
The smell-o-vision for real thing. Oh my god, it's coming out. It's happening. People are gonna buy it. People are gonna love it.
Feel
it's fucking
real.
stupid.
Enhanced
I said it.
tracks for videos. Dude, you might be on it, man. Like, yeah, this could be a thing.
Well,
It
and
is going to
for-
be a thing. Games have already signed. Like it's going to be a thing.
And for immersive, like eventually I think there's going to be a lot of band stuff going on in virtual reality, and there will be like band shows, band experiences, all
cool.
kinds of stuff with that.
I think so.
And being able to put the hot, the cold, the wind, the mist, and some smells in with that, I think is massive for people who go all in on the production. Right?
That would be the next
So
mode.
sad, man. I want
of-
this thing to be live. I want to go out in front of people and do.
I know.
Well, this will be a supplementation to live because maybe people, you know, in India want to see a band, you know, from here.
Yeah, okay.
And it like
That's
I think
yeah.
things like that, if they're done in the right way, can really show people how awesome a concert is. And then you're adding the energy of the people around you.
Yeah.
Right now, I think there's a huge market of people who think that bands just suck, and you know, people who are really into like DJ style music and that kind of stuff, electric, you know, produced stuff. They're like, I've heard it. You know, I've heard people be like, bands suck, or, you know, like, you know, like there's no good singers anymore. It's like, you're just auto-tuned. You
But-
might as well do that. And they've just never experienced it, right? So that's their
I got you. But don't you think if it was going to open up to like more virtual stuff like that, like the music industry, which I think you're totally right. That's definitely going to happen. It's definitely coming down the pipes. But like you would still get to like DJs and stuff like that kind of music would still get exposure to that too, right? So like,
Oh, for sure.
so like how does
Yeah.
it like I don't see that making like a big draw for like bands specifically. I don't see like it boosting like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an interesting
Like,
interesting
you know,
thought.
It's gonna be for all types of music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. So I don't see one kind of genre benefiting from. But I don't know. I mean, there's something to a rock and roll show that's like fucking wild too, right? Or can be, right? So
If they've got like pyro going on and shit like that.
yeah,
And
and if it's
but
virtual reality, like yeah,
you're totally right. You're totally right. I was looking at it from a singular perspective, just from the band style.
Yeah.
Like, people are still gonna watch and listen to what they're gonna watch and listen to.
yeah,
They're not
exactly,
gonna-
yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
It's
it's,
not
not
gonna
be
change
like
their minds
like
in
rock
terms of
bands
what
are
they're
the only
interested in
people using
musically,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right.
You know,
You're totally
It
right.
still comes down to it, like watching like a rock band or like watching, you know, their favorite like
Yeah.
rapper. I don't know.
Or a DJ or a producer or like
whatever.
like I just want to say like Daft Punk.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that kind of thing.
Definitely. Did you watch that
The
video?
dude with the mouse on his head.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
who's
Dead
the-
Mouse. Dead Mouse.
Yeah, yeah,
Dead Mouse 5. Dead Mouse.
yeah.
So
That
Daft
guy,
Punk-
That guy.
Daft-
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Daft Punk.
They retired.
Cheers.
They
They retired. Yeah. Did you watch that video?
I did.
That's fucking. What was it? Like
Really wild.
8-minute video.
Yeah, really wild. It was great. Kudos
very
to Daft
long.
Punk. To your points, gentlemen, I really think that when things really open up, I think people want to rock and they want to be in a big audience and they want to fucking jump up and down to killer, awesome live music.
You're not wrong. Can I borrow your torch lighter?
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. No, you're not wrong, but I still think like, you know, they're gonna get that same excitement and stuff out of still their favorite artist. It's not gonna, you know.
And you're not wrong about that.
Nobody's wrong here.
It's not like it's not like, you know, it's not like that.
I would agree, gentlemen. Absolutely.
So we all agree.
I think we're in agreement.
I think we're all in agreement.
Unanimous agreement.
Should we sign the declaration?
Yeah. The Declaration of Agreement. Why
The
not?
Agreement
This is
proclamation.
really tasty.
I like it, man. I always love these palm rolls.
Really tasty.
Big fan of the palm
like
roll.
with this weed too.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling?
Feeling good.
Very high. It's interesting because I smoked 3 in a row pretty quick. Well, you just smoked, and then I took a break for a little bit. Now I'm smoking this one. You just smoked 3 very quickly after I had finished already. So we've smoked the same amount, but at very different paces here.
Yeah, it went out for me a couple of times when I was going through the segments.
Yeah,
and,
I was getting
and doing some
blitzed, and now I feel like
narration.
I've had a good break. I'm ready to like smoke another one. And yeah, this is powerful weed though, man. I feel like I'm getting better now. Like I'm definitely cooling off and settling into it. But holy shit! Like at my peak, I was like just unbelievably fucking high.
So here's a question. So Aurora Cannabis has like they're trying to like they're shifting their business focus, right? They're changing like how they do business and what product they deliver to the clients, the customers. Do you feel that this is now what they would call premium flower?
No,
I
I don't think
don't-
it's it doesn't qualify as premium to me because again we dumped it out. Didn't look that great.
How would you rate it on the Blade J scale?
What was our rating for last time? 7 Blades out of 9 Blades?
Something like that.
I think I was giving it like 9 out of 10 last time, but I probably should have been down around an 8.
For the OGen?
For the Ojin, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would I rate this? Like all over, you mean? How would I rate this?
Yeah, how many Blade J's out of 10?
It doesn't have the same like sex appeal when like you open it up. It didn't look. It's lacking in certain areas still. It was sticky. There's a lot of leaf on it. I didn't like. You know, it's very like it's definitely like mechanically trimmed, right? Like it doesn't look.
Okay.
There's certain elements that weren't on point. That's why I said it wouldn't be premium bud because like it doesn't meet all the criteria. As far as like how like it's tasty. And
Well, that's yeah.
and it's gotten me unbelievably like stoned here. I'm a fucking space cadet.
So are the I guess the question is like how much does the pros build it up from the cons?
Well, they really do. I mean, I would buy this again. I like it. I'd like, you know, I buy, you know, crappy looking weed sometimes. Like this, it doesn't look bad. It just didn't have like that like wow factor when we opened it up. It doesn't look like that impressive. But I mean, bottom line is like it's a really, really powerful, really good weed. It smokes well. I got no problems with it as far as like how this has been going. You know, I love it.
Yeah.
It's I would rank it as one of my favorites right now. Like this is unbelievable. It's awesome.
And that's exactly where I'm coming into.
But you gotta if you're gonna call it premium bud, you gotta pretty it up is what you gotta do. Right?
Yes.
You've gotta
Yeah.
make it look nice. You gotta treat your weed, you gotta make it look good, you gotta present it fucking well.
Nice.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Even like
The percentage was up there. I think
everything about the
some
weed
of the
is good.
criteria like
Yeah.
premium bud, if it's like just a THC strain like this, it can't be below 18%.
Definitely not below 18 for a premium.
No, it's got to be 18 and up, 18 plus, and it's got to be like looking good. and not machine trimmed.
Yeah.
Or if it is machine trimmed, like get a better machine.
It's an important
Like,
it's an important quality, man. Like it's got to look good.
It says
You want
here.
your weed to look pretty, man.
It says here 26.5%, baby. Woo, yeah.
Yeah, that's the max, 14 to 26.5.
What did you say ours was at? It was 20.
No, it was 19 point. What was it? 19.6.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, it
Yeah.
definitely kicked my ass tonight.
Like I'm
It's
coming
good.
in even with the Ogen for this because of the trade-off from the looks to the smoke.
Okay.
If it was just a straight up experience to experience and all the other factors were taken out, I'd put this ahead of the Ogen.
I feel exactly the same way as you then. Yeah. All around, taking everything into account, yeah, I would definitely rate it like a point below. Whatever our fucking
If it was just a straight
obscure
up,
rating system is, I would vote it just a little bit below the Ogen. But straight up experience, cerebral highness, this is better.
well, now here's the thing. Had we put this in a lineup with a whole bunch of other strains and just straight up smoked it in our day of smoking a bunch of different kinds, I'd have it like, like down lower because I wouldn't be experiencing how good the high is and how much I'm loving it. I'm needing to spend this time with it to get to know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I like that.
If it was just a straight up looks shootout, looks with like how's it roll and taste on like
You know
a
what?
few hits.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not gonna win on that scale.
I would say I agree with that. Yeah, because if I was just smoking this like with the bunch, like it would just bleed into everything else.
Yeah,
if it
and
was just another token today between.
And
like, a bunch
it
of
doesn't have the looks.
That's what I like
It
about
doesn't have
doing
the
this.
bag appeal throwback.
Yeah.
And any of that kind of stuff to the.
It's what I like about doing this podcast though, is that we get to do that with this weed, right? We get to
Yeah.
sit down with it and like, we're not just like, I mean, we are just getting high, but like, we get to like really appreciate the strain for what it is.
One thing that I think would be cool to do eventually, or on a different style of show, we talked about the cocktail parties, but also have a strain brand shootout, because I've started to see like Pink Kush. There's, at any given time, 3 to 5 different providers with a Pink Kush in the store. And
Yeah.
with that kind of thing, we could do a straight head-to-head because it is all the same strain.
Okay, I'm very interested in that actually. I remember seeing like some like, I think it was a CBC report or something a while back. It's a couple of years ago, so things might be different now. But talking about exactly that, how sometimes the names of strains are like they vary a lot from grower to grower, and like just because something's called like Bubba Kush here, doesn't mean that the Bubba Kush you're buying over here is going to be even remotely the same thing. Like sometimes the names are very just kind of arbitrary and just don't mean much.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of like, do a big cocktail party where we get like multiple things. We get to compare something.
Like there's
Comparison on a different level than
the question that I've had is, when you see Pink Kush 19% in the store, are people buying that because of the name? Because they're like, oh, I know Pink Kush, or I know Cold Creek Kush, or Kosher Kush, anything with the Kush on it.
Yeah.
That's what I want, right? And they don't necessarily, they're more of a casual, right?
Yeah.
So with a company like Ogen, like Gasberries is their own strain, right? I don't think that the Gasberries is a strain that any other company
else is
has.
doing,
I think
okay.
it's proprietary to them.
So it's not something that like, the everyday smoker's like familiar with, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's signature, right?
That's something they're looking for, though, yeah.
It's a thing where they've created their own their own super soldier kind of strain, whereas others are just kind of running with like the dominant ones, right? Whereas they're putting OG Kush in with something else. And for this, it's OG Kush and the G13. Other companies might be like, oh, I'm just going to do the OG Kush. you know, because I need that name on there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get by on the name. I might not be able to get by on the
product.
actual product or the smoke.
Is that a
Okay.
big thing? Like to just like these specific strains, like it's called OG Kush, so that helps you sell, you know, your weed brand. And all that?
For sure. There's like rappers for sure who have rapped about like a particular strain or been like, I only smoke this, and then people will legitimately be like, nope, if that's all he smokes, that's all I'm gonna smoke too. It's got to have that or it's shit because this guy said so. And it's like,
And weed has always had fun names, and there's always been a culture of people, and like people that love weed, like, I don't know, people love the names of it, man. So like, I don't know. And yeah, if you're an everyday smoker, casual smoker, whatever you want to call it, you're walking in the store looking for something, you don't really know what you're doing there, like, yeah, you're definitely gonna be like drawn to names that you're familiar with, that you've heard a lot, right? So something like, yeah. So it's easy to sell like an OG Kush because everyone knows about it, right? So like, it's a safe bet wherever you go. But then yeah, to compare these ones from different places, that would be really interesting.
Totally.
I mean, I've smoked a fair bit of different pink Kushes and different Bubba Kushes, and they're good, but the cross strains just have something a little extra.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, is it feeling like you guys really want to have a refreshing lemonade? By any
I
chance?
could do a lemonade. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a lemonade too. I'm not doing any sugar right now though, and
Sugar-free lemonade.
I'm trying to get just
straight lemon juice.
oh
Just
yeah.
get some Sunny
You know
D.
what? Just throw some salt in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get some Sunny D,
Some
yo.
saltamello to lemon.
Oh fuck. That would be good. It's
That would be great. Yeah.
You wouldn't think like stopping like artificial sweeteners would be something that you'd have any kind of withdrawal from, but man, it kind of is.
I hear you.
Yeah, you're having a rough time with it?
I wouldn't
Not a
say a
rough
rough
time, but
time,
yeah,
but
sorry,
I'm
that's
noticing
not
it.
bad, yeah.
I'm noticing it.
Yeah.
So maybe you just need straight up lemon juice, straight from a lemon.
Straight from the lemon's tit, dude.
Oh, baby.
So, did we properly explain MK Ultra?
Yes, we
the
did.
actual back
We did.
story on it and all
well, we
that kind of
can go
A
stuff.
little bit.
We can go
Like
into
we
it
didn't
more.
we didn't talk about the Montreal experiments
No, we didn't talk
with
about the Montreal experiment.
with that.
Okay, let's make it happen.
There's
We both came across this video.
yeah, we both came across this video, and it was from the Fifth Estate, our sister show.
Our sister show, yeah,
And
exactly, yeah.
yeah,
Our strange, they don't know about us.
yeah,
Our strange
our
sister
great
show.
aunt, our great aunt show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like some crazy shit that went on in Montreal back in the day.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that MK Ultra came up to Canada. I thought it was like a CIA, all strictly American thing.
Yeah, I know it was, and I've even heard since then, just doing a little bit more like refreshing on it today and stuff. Everybody was like, yeah, and it was this crazy thing that was done in the States and Canada, and like,
Yeah, it blew me away. I had no
So
idea.
this is separate from the weed. It's MK Ultra, the experiments.
Yeah.
yeah,
In
it's
Montreal.
The actual
Copy that
experiment,
on it.
Yep. Yeah, there was a mental institute there, and the guy had developed this crazy process called depatterning,
Yeah.
where
Oh, yeah.
people would be like broken down essentially to like a core non-personalized, like no personality is what I mean by that.
And then it could be
like,
rebuilt from the ground up.
But it failed horribly. It just fucked people up.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Well,
was
the
fuck
idea
people up.
was he was putting these people to sleep, like drug-induced sleeps, for
like 3 to 4
weeks at a time.
3 to 4 weeks.
And while they were sleeping, he was playing like tapes for them.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not, there weren't any. There wasn't any footage of the tapes,
He
right? They
never
couldn't find any
like,
footage of the
couldn't
tapes.
find anything of the
Yeah,
tapes, so
obviously
you
got rid
don't
of
quite
all that
know.
shit.
what they were, you know, being told. But
Yeah.
but
But they were
and then also
experimenting
the
with brainwashing.
but also the electroshock. While they were asleep, they would be getting like crazy electroshock therapy.
Crazy amounts of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like multiple times a day.
Yes. Oh,
Jinx.
so brutal. So brutal.
Dudes,
Oh, okay.
I'm pulling this up now. This is crazy shit. You guys are actually like factually correct. By
Well,
the way.
yeah, we watched it was our sister company.
Yeah. And
was talking about
and
it.
so that was like just another part. Like they fucked around with LSD there too, giving the people like crazy doses of LSD.
Yeah, the guy was fed LSD too. He said
They didn't combine the LSD with the depatternizing. That was like a different thing.
Yeah.
But, oh man, it was just fucking crazy.
I did want to say too how funny, because it's like this video was from the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I don't know. It's so funny when they did the video of what it would look like if you were on an acid trip.
Oh yeah.
And it's just this weird fucking like you're like, it's a black hole basically, and you're just like,
well,
and just it was so funny.
It was like a graphic art student's take on the psychedelic scene from Space Odyssey 2001.
It almost looked like a Talking Heads video or something.
Yes, very similar to that. Yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't
look
look like any acid trip I've had.
It cracked me up quite a bit. That was the best part of the video, I thought. But it was the rest of it was also fascinating. But I was like, that was fucking gold. I loved it.
Yeah, when they were looking for somebody to make that video, they were like, the question they asked was, can you show people what an acid trip looks like? Not, have you done acid?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you guys want to hear about the Montreal experiments?
Actually, yeah, that's funny. That's
read a little bit of that. I've got a little vocal clip that I want to bring up. I'm so fucking baked.
Bo, you had a point though. Please finish.
I was just gonna say, like, I agree with Jeff. I was thinking about that when I watched the video the other day. It was like, that was my favorite part, was like them trying so seriously to explain like what an acid trip was, having no frame of reference, like I just having no fucking clue. I just loved it. It made me so happy just to like see people. I just loved watching people try to explain things they have no idea about. It was funny.
Oh man,
the video was just so good. It was just so good.
Really,
that would be a great Talking Heads video, actually.
That was the link you sent, Jeff, that I had. I've been so busy this week, I didn't get a chance to see it, but the MK Ultra, that's the one?
That's the one, yeah. They sent us in the group chat there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to that, guys.
Hey, no, it's all good, man.
That's okay. Okay.
Montreal experiments, you want to hear about them?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I interrupted you now, James. Go for it.
No, it's all good.
Hit it up with some facts.
So the Montreal experiments were a series of experiments initially aimed to treat schizophrenia by changing memories and erasing the patient's thoughts using, I guess it would be a doctor, Donald Ewan Cameron's method of psychic driving.
Psychic driving, that's what he called it.
Interesting. As well as drug-induced sleep, intensive electroconvulsive therapy, sensory deprivation, and Thorazine. The experiments were conducted at the Allen Memorial Institute of McGill University. So that's in Montreal. Montreal represent. Between 1957 and 64 by the Scottish psychiatrist, Mr. DEC, and funded by the CIA as part of Project
DEC from the CIA.
Yeah, MK Ultra, which lasted until 1973 and was only revealed to the public in 1975. The patients of this experiment expected positive changes from Dr. Cameron's treatment. However, these patients suffered severely under conditions that were not in accordance with human rights. Oh my God. Not only the patients, but also their families show long-lasting effects on their mental health. Some of these symptoms include retrograde amnesia, as well as impairments in everyday life abilities, such as self-care. To this day, the topic of experiments in Montreal has been kept in the dark by the CIA, who actively prevent information about these experiments from being leaked to the public, whether that be through destruction of files or signing NDAs. But here's the thing. I just, to what you guys said, like he used doses of Thorazine to put patients into an artificial coma. It says here 85 days or 86 days.
Wow.
People would sleep for 86 days.
I remember the video they were saying like 20-something days. I never heard anything
28.
I never heard anything about 86. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's like months of your life just lost sleeping, being fed tapes. Oh my God, I'd be so fucking mad if I found out they were doing that to me.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh.
Well, imagine how crazy that would be to not know that it happened and then figure it out and be told later, like you're gonna find out now that shit happened to you like years ago. You're like, well, now what do I fucking believe?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Fuck, that's so crazy, man.
Well, hang on. These people probably volunteered, didn't
No,
they?
no,
They did.
that's what makes it inhumane. Yeah,
that's
they
fucking
did not
hilarious.
volunteer for this. They're
Yeah.
they're like admitted to like psychiatric wards or something, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just
I made it-
experimented on.
That so
That's a terrible
that's
joke.
the way
Sorry,
it wasn't. No, that's fucking hilarious. Actually, in Canada, they were all mental patients. In the States, there were some mental patients.
Yeah.
There were some volunteers, and there were military people.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of like privates in the military and shit
There
like
was
that.
a lot more going on in the
Yeah, there
States,
was one guy who was talking about in the States. He was a soldier, and he was asked if he wanted to take part in some experiments to try to fight the common cold. And it was like checking out like how much fucking nerve toxic like a human could take, like through dermal application. And like it's just fucking crazy. Yeah. Like the way he was talking about it. And this is like they're doing that to their own people, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
they're like,
Fuck.
oh man. So the doctor that they were talking about, just scroll up a little bit there.
DEC.
What was
David
his
Ewan
name?
Cameron.
Yes.
He's the DEC from the CIA.
Yeah. So his personality was described here by a coworker, another like kind of. I can't remember if this guy was a reporter, but I'm pretty sure he worked with this guy.
Okay.
But this is what he had to say about him.
And respected psychiatrist, but he was not universally liked. Former colleague, Dr. Elliot Emanuel.
He was an authoritarian, ruthless, power-hungry, nervous, tense, angry man. Not very nice.
Not very nice.
Yeah. So yeah,
Ruthless. Crazy.
a real jerk.
Yeah. A real jerk. Yeah.
Just a jerk face.
Just a real
Real loser.
real jerk.
A dummy poo-poo.
Yeah.
A poo-poo head.
But he was the guy who was doing shit so crazy that the CIA and FBI were like, oh, yeah, we want some of that data too.
Yeah.
Because they were just trying like all kinds of stuff. They wanted to see if they could depatternize somebody and then reprogram them. And that
CIA
didn't
was
work.
like, hell yeah.
They were also trying other stuff with MK Ultra, Operation Midnight Climax, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I didn't see about this.
So they were trying to see. They never actually came out and said what their goal was, but I surmised with my crazy mind.
I
that
surmised
they-
with my 2 eyes.
Yeah, that they were trying to figure out if they could get somebody under a honeypot incident where they were like coerced by a female or opposite sex to have some sex, and then with the applications of drugs and different things, could they get somebody to spill the beans on secrets, right?
Okay.
And could they like extract data out of people? Could they get them to say like, compromising
Through sex,
things?
yeah.
Through sex
through
and drugs.
yeah.
So what they were doing was they were the CIA and the FBI were opening up brothels, and if this was a room with a bed in it, that would be a one-way mirror.
Nice.
And on the other side would be feds watching people having sex and interacting with prostitutes.
Yeah, bunch of
and the
pervs.
prostitutes were in on it, and they were doping up the Johns with LSD, unbeknownst to the Johns. And it was all a data collection thing. But what I think they were trying to do was trying to figure out, okay, if we get these guys sexed up and get them to, you know, like empty their balls, then that's already a time when guys are like liable to say some shit.
Yeah.
So like, what happens if we throw a little LSD in the mix?
Yeah, what are they gonna? Yeah.
You know, and maybe flash the lights a bit. Like, who knows what they were doing, right? They were fucking with them, but yeah.
God, what a time!
Yeah,
to be alive,
and that
man.
was
Fucking crazy
a
shit
like,
happening.
man, working for the CIA. What did you do last month, Bill? Oh, yeah, watched a bunch of guys do a bunch of hookers while they were high on LSD and didn't know it through a one-way mirror. With were you by yourself? Nope, there were 4 of us in there.
Oh man. Yeah, the stories I could tell. I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's wild. Like, were those tapes all destroyed? Like, who
Yeah.
knows? Apparently,
There's
all
no
the
footage. There's like obviously, yeah.
Well, at one point in time, right around the 70s, I think, there was like an inside ordered like purge of like MK Ultra data, tapes,
Okay.
files, all that kind of stuff. It was all supposed to be destroyed. Like somebody inside was like, we gotta like hit the self-destruct button on this before people really find out. And then it all kind of came out afterwards. And they were like, well, there's no proof of that. That's all alleged. But a few documents maybe made it through.
Yeah, okay.
And now there's been some stuff really put out there.
Yeah.
It's totally like legit.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
legit.
yeah.
Yeah. He's got some stuff pulled up here about Operation Midnight Climax.
Mm-hmm.
So, Operation Midnight Climax was an operation carried out by the CIA as a sub-project of Project MK Ultra.
Which, just as a side, had over 140 sub projects within
Wow.
MK Ultra. Like, they were really throwing everything at the wall to see what would stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried some fucking crazy shit.
They apparently, it was established in 1954, and it was under certain people. Federal Narcotics Bureau in Boston. You guys are hotboxing me already. Fuck.
Already, we're done here, man. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hundreds of scientists worked on these programs before they were shut down in the 60s. Yeah, crazy, man. In San Fran.
Well,
SFV, I guess.
SFVOG.
they say, nice callback. That was great. They say that they shut it down, but come on.
Come on.
Yeah,
me a
come
break.
on. No. They were just like, okay, we got to change the name now
Yeah.
and get rid of some files. None of that shit worked anyways. Any of the stuff that worked, we renamed it something else. And
Yeah.
yeah.
MK Funtra.
I saw a thing today that was saying that there was potentially an MK Ultra info grabbing video arcade game.
Whoa.
Like so there was this game called
Yeah, find it. I want to know about this.
Super Mario Brothers?
No,
That's
this
a good one.
was
That's a
this
good
was
one,
was quite some time
Yours,
ago.
yes.
Polybius. So a video
Whoa.
game, an arcade console game called
Polybius.
Polybius.
How do you spell that?
And Polybios.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, US. Polybius. So this video game apparently doesn't exist, but one of them was told to be in an arcade in Seattle way back in the day. And it
Okay.
was like a virtual, like, these are all renderings, right? Because there is no actual like
Yeah.
pictures or whatever of the
Renders,
game,
okay.
but people tell the story. And apparently it was a vector line 3D game, a tank operation, like tank turret battle game.
Is this some Mandela effect shit happening?
No.
Manchurian Candidate.
This is like research stuff, and it was a headset that you leaned into, and you would see like the vector line stuff on the inside, and it was like 3D, early 3D. This was back in like 1980 or something.
Yeah, okay.
And you would kind of like use the sticks and whatever, but be inside that headset. And there was just this one video game, and like guys in like Men in Black, like guys in suits with sunglasses would come by and like hook shit up to it and extract data and stuff like that from it.
Yeah.
Like periodically, and not talk to anybody. And then the game like disappeared.
Really?
But some of the people who were playing the game got like super addicted to it, and then got all fucked up afterwards, and like had seizures, and one of the guys or multiple guys like killed themselves, and like it was some fucking crazy shit.
Really?
But this game then vanished, and you can't find it. Like you can't find any history of the game or anything. It's just like kind of lore. And there was just the one,
crazy.
and apparently this game, people like speculate that it was like some kind of mind control, like hacking the mind through like kind of. I played like an
well, again,
early,
just like you said, they were throwing just everything at the wall and see what would stick, right? So I mean,
have
just
you
another thing. Let's put it in a video game and see what fucking lasers do to their eyeballs.
Yeah. Like James, did you ever play Virtual Boy?
Do
you remember that?
Believe I have played that one.
Do you know Virtual Boy?
No.
It's like a Game Boy, but a headset like this that you put on and you played, and it was like vector line stuff in 3D.
Yeah, no, I never played
and
that.
I played it like a little bit, probably back in I don't know what grade, but it fucked me up, man.
Yeah.
Like my mind didn't, and my eyes did not like being in that realm.
But it was like totally blocked off except for your like.
Yeah, it was like a headset that you like a VR headset, but
I could
you
see
leaned
that
into.
messing with you. Like even the new like
And
VR
then-
is like mess with you if you're not used to it. Like can send you off. Like so if it's like really crappy like 80s, just like grid line shit. And
That's
like,
that's what it was. Just a
I
black
could- I
background
could see
and
that
red lines.
totally just fucking with
like-
your whole sense of balance and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but for everybody at home, the Polybius game and all that kind of stuff, that's a real interesting story to look into.
Yeah, I want to look into that. I've never heard of
Yeah,
that
it's
before.
neat.
But it seems super wild.
Yeah. Like throwing so much shit at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. They're just trying fucking anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just giving people drugs, just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's just try it and see what happens.
But apparently the whole thing started because some soldiers, prisoners of war, came back to the States after the Korean War
Renouncing the
and
war,
after
yeah.
World War II and stuff, and they had been like effectively brainwashed by the other side, and so the CIA and stuff started looking at it and going, man, we can't have this, and we got to figure out like what we can do, and then they started running with it and being
And
like, oh,
they
what else
assumed there
can we
must have
do?
been a chemical thing. That's what it said in the Fifth State thing, if I'm recalling correctly, was that they like assumed that there must have been like a chemical thing that happened too with these like war vets coming back, right? That's why they were so, like renouncing like the war and like turning on like their country or whatever, right? So that's why they were like willing to just like feed people drugs for like I don't know, brainwashing experiments. That's what they're doing, man. They're trying to brainwash.
Yeah, it all started with the brainwashing,
mind
and then
control,
they
I
started
guess.
thinking of the Manchurian Candidate thing.
Yeah, there we go.
The Manchurian Candidate thing is just like, oh, that's such a fucked up like idea to be able to do that, like kind of like store a file of a completely different person
Sleeper agents,
in somebody's like being, and then
it activates them.
yeah,
That's wild, man.
yeah, it's crazy.
Bill
It's
I wonder
Burns.
what happened if someone activated me. I wonder what I would do.
Well, I wonder what your activation word or sequence would be.
Yeah.
It's probably
yeah.
going to be train that parrot. And then you just train a parrot like a robot.
It can't be that because I didn't blow up or do what I was supposed to
Be
do.
like something on a guitar that you can't like physically reach, some
I'll
crazy.
just like spontaneously combust on stage or something.
Why not?
One day you hit that note and just like
Yeah, just gone. Yeah.
and there is no more bow. Just a pair of shoes.
Well, I mean, we're all done smoking here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what are we doing for time? I think we've been going for a while too.
2 hours, 8 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need a break. I want to go outside, get some fresh air.
Yeah, this was the 8th Estate, Aurora MK Ultra. Pretty fucking killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aurora, man. I don't know. I feel like we talked about them a lot. We like kind of showed not their best side tonight in some ways.
Well,
but,
hey.
But like this is an awesome product, man. I love this MK Ultra. It knocked me right on my ass.
Yep.
Right on my keister.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
It's
Highly
super,
recommend.
super good.
Highly recommend.
Can't wait to do it again.
Cool. Right on. Thanks for everything, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Hey-o! The 8th Estate.
So good.
Signing off.